Hello everyone, welcome back. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about a special plant which has been here on Earth for about millions of years, and these are considered to be really low maintenance plants. They come in different varieties. Yes, these are ferns, but I am in today's video gonna be talking about specifically Boston ferns. These are really low maintenance plants, but they do require some attention to thrive. So let's talk about Boston ferns. So when it comes to placement and light, I would say that Boston fern, they prefer to be in a bright indirect light, which means that you can place them anywhere in your home or in your porch or in your patio where they get enough bright indirect light. However, they can tolerate morning sun for about an hour, but not more than that. Uh, Too much exposure to sunlight will definitely burn their fronds. And so, if you are in the northern hemisphere like me, you can place your plant close to north or east facing window, or if you are in the southern hemisphere, then do the opposite. But don't expose them in too much sun. Watering can be a tricky part for Boston ferns, so I would suggest that avoid overwatering or underwatering conditions for this plant. A general rule of thumb which I always follow for watering my plants or watering my Boston ferns is that I just check the soil 2-3 inches down with my finger, and if it feels dry to touch, only then I water my plant. And if I feel some moisture in it, then I just kind of hold on to watering for some time, and later I just water my plant. Another trick you can follow is that just lift up the pot if it feels light in weight, which means that your plant is running out of water, it's really thirsty, you can water it. Or so some people also use moisture meter, which can also be a good idea, but I would suggest that you should know your plant, you should understand your plant needs. Just keep on checking in how many days you need to water, especially during winter seasons you need to water them less as compared to summer. And it depends on pot size also. If your pot is your plant is in a smaller pot, probably you have to water it a lot as compared to the larger pot. So there are some points, some tricks you can check, and you need to understand your plant well so you would know. But yes, I would request that don't overwater this plant because they don't want to be sitting in a soggy soil for a long period of time. It can cause the root rot to the plant. So in simple words, just check the soil before watering your plants, don't overwater it, and water it thoroughly whenever you water your plant. And since Boston ferns are tropical plants, they really love high humidity levels. So you can keep on misting around the plants every other day, which is going to help the plant a lot. And you would see the fronds would look more green, more lushy, and more vibrant. And especially, it will help in photosynthesis. They absorb more water and they absorb light, and it is eventually going to help the plant's growth. Choosing a right kind of potting mix is really essential for Boston ferns. I would recommend that you should use a well draining soil, and it should also be rich with nutrients at the same time and should able to retain moisture. As you can see in here, I generally use like 2 parts of coco coir, 1 part of perlite, and 1 part of good compost in my potting mix. Basically, coco coir is going to help the plant with in retaining moisture, whereas perlite is going to help with the drainage, and compost is going to give a lot of healthy nutrients to your plant. So overall, I would say that a good organically rich is potting mix is really good for your plant. And if you have added a good amount of compost in your potting mix, then you can fertilize your plant once in every growing season with a liquid organic fertilizer, and which would be good enough for your plant to grow. So if your Boston fern has overgrown or not in the right shape, you can just trim them back, or if you see any fronds turning yellow or brown, or you can just cut them back, and it's gonna help your plant in keeping a good health and in the shape. And typically, I would recommend that just trimming is better for your plant's growth. If you see any yellowing leaves, you can just trim them back, and the more you cut them, the more they look beautiful and they grow faster. As far as propagation is concerned, I would say there are two methods. You can propagate your Boston ferns either by spores, which are, I mean, teeny tiny reproductive structures that grow on the underside of the fronds. You just pick them up, collect them, and just put them in pot of soil, and your plant gonna grow. I have never tried this method although, but I have heard about it, so just thought kind of like sharing it with you. And another method is like by doing the root division, which means like you can just divide the root ball of an existing plant. This can be done very carefully. Remove the plant from its pot and separate the root balls into several sections, and then repotting each section in its own pot. And for repotting, I would say that if you see the like roots are coming out from the drainage or without any infestation, you see the leaves are turning yellow, you are taking a good care of your plant but still they are turning yellow, it might be the sign of repotting. Just pick a size larger container and wider probably, and just repot your plant in a new container with new potting soil. Use a well draining potting soil, and it is really simple. Ferns can be susceptible to scales or mealybugs, spider mites, or aphids. If you see any kind of infestation, then you can use some natural methods such as like home remedy, adding water and soap, and in it you can add few drops of neem oil and just spray over the leaves, over the fronds, and they're gonna get well. Or if you see any infected or diseased frond, you can just take them out, cut them off, it is going to help. Or if they are not controlled by these all of these, still you are seeing some infestations, then you can go for the last option, which is like chemical pesticides you may use to control the infestation. So overall, I would say that these plants are non-toxic to humans and animals, so a safe plant to have in home if you have kids or pets. And finally, I would say that the beauty of ferns lies in their unique growth patterns, delicate fronds, and adaptability to different environments. Uh, it's whether you are admiring a fern in a garden or have spotted one in the wild, the beauty is sure to captivate you. These are really beautiful plants, low maintenance plants. If you would take care of few things, they're gonna grow well in your home. And if you really like this video, give a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave the comments in the comment section, and keep on sharing this video, and do subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next video. We'll be talking about some other plant. Till then, stay happy, stay safe, and happy planting.